Inside this video, we are going to go over every single pet inside of Grow a Garden. More importantly, we're going to be going over all of their abilities, and even more importantly, we are going to be going over how to obtain them. So make sure you guys all like and subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's jump straight into this. Keep in mind, if you're looking for a particular pet, it will all be inside a timestamp down inside of the description below, so go there and find it. And because I'm actually going over every single pet and timestamping all the pets inside of the description below, make sure you guys bookmark this video so you can actually refer to it back in the future. We're gonna start with the obtainable pets and then move on to the unobtainable pets. Even though they are called unobtainable pets, there still is a way to obtain them, so make sure you guys all stay tuned. The first pet that we got is the dog. It actually comes from the common egg, which is a 99% chance of spawning inside of the shop, and not only that, it has a 33% chance of hatching from that egg. The passive ability, every 60 seconds it has a 5% chance to dig up a random seed, which means that it can dig up even a beanstalk, a coconut, the ember lily, or even a sugar apple. Moving on, we have the bunny. The bunny's ability is every 40 seconds it eats a carrot at a 1.5% value bonus. This thing only works for carrots, so kind of trash, honestly. Again, it comes from the common egg and has a 33% chance of hatching. Next, we got the golden lab. Again, common egg, 33% hatching, and just like the dog, it has a 10% chance to dig up a random seed every 60 seconds. The only difference between the golden lab and the dog is that this is a 10% chance instead of the dog's 5% chance. That was all the common pets. Now we got the uncommon pets. The first one that we got is the bee. It has a 65% chance from hatching from the bee egg. All right, every 25 minutes, this thing flies to a nearby fruit and pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation. The bee egg can be purchased with 18 honey from the queen bee. You can see all of the percentages right here, so I'm not gonna bring up the bee egg anymore. The next one that we have is the black bunny. This actually comes from the uncommon egg. It has a 25% chance of hatching, and its ability is every 40 seconds, the black bunny searches for a carrot on the garden, eats it, and automatically increasing the selling value by 1.5. So this is very, very similar to the normal bunny, except it has a quicker cooldown. Now we got the cat. This one's a 25% hatch chance, and every 80 seconds, the cat will nap for 10 seconds, and a new fruit with 10 studs, within 10 studs, sorry, will be 1.25 times larger. Next, we have the chicken. Again, 25% chance of hatching, and this increases eggs hatch speed by 10%. This is our last obtainable uncommon egg. Again, 25% chance. We have the deer. This gives you a 3% chance for berry plants to stay when harvested. This is our first rare pet. This actually comes from the rare egg, of course, which is the color blue, and it has a 8.33% chance of hatching the monkey. Its ability is selling fruit has a chance to be refunded to you into your inventory, 2.5% chance, and rare fruits have a lower refund chance. Next, we have the orange tabby, which is very, very similar to the cat, guys. All right, this has a 33% chance of spawning from the rare egg, and its ability is every 90 seconds. It naps for 15 seconds and causes new fruit within 15 studs to grow 1.5 times larger. So it's just a better version of the cat. Next, we got the pig. 16.67% chance of hatching from the rare egg, and its ability is every 118 seconds. The pig emits a 15-second aura that grants a 2 times chance for plants within 15 studs to grow a variant fruit. Next one is the rooster. This has a 16.67% chance of hatching from the rare egg, and it increases egg hatch speed by 20%, much like the chicken. The spotted deer has a 25% chance of hatching, and its ability gives a 5% chance for berry plants to stay when harvested, much like the deer. The honeybee again comes from the bee egg, and it has a 25% chance of hatching, and every 20 minutes it flies to a nearby fruit, pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation, and the time it is reduced from the pet is leveled up. So it's just a better normal bee. The wasp, it comes from the anti-bee egg, which I'll talk about in a second, and it has a hatch chance of 55%. It has 2 passive abilities, the first being every 30 minutes the wasp flies to a nearby fruit, pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation, and then every 10 minutes the wasp stings a random pet and advances its ability cooldown by 60 seconds. The anti-bee egg can be purchased for 149 Robux here, or you can simply craft it going here and actually putting in a bee egg and 25 honey. That's all for rare pets. Now we got legendary pets. The first legendary pet is the cow. This has a 42.55% chance of spawning from the legendary egg, and then its ability is it causes all plants within 8 studs to grow 1.12 faster. The next one is the polar bear. The polar bear has a 2.13% chance of hatching, and every 90 seconds it has a 10% chance to turn a nearby crop chilled or frozen. It'll turn it frozen if it's wet already. The sea otter, another legendary pet, is a 10.64% chance of hatching from the legendary egg, and every 30 seconds it sprays water on a nearby plant. The silver monkey has a 42.55% chance of spawning, and its ability is 8% chance to refund crops. It's just like a better monkey. The Tarantula Hawk also comes from the anti-bee egg, and this has a 30% chance of hatching, and again, it also has two abilities. Every 25 minutes, the Tarantula Hawk flies to a nearby fruit and pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation, and then every 5 minutes, the Tarantula Hawk stings a random pet and advances its ability cooldown by 80 seconds. The turtle, alright, which is honestly one of the cutest pets inside of the entire game, only has a 2.13% chance of hatching from the legendary egg, and this ability is all sprinklers last 20% longer. Next, we got the petal bee. This one only has a 4% chance of hatching from the bee egg, and its ability is every 25 minutes it flies to a nearby fruit, pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation, and has a 1% chance flower-type fruit stays after harvest. The moth again comes from the anti-bee egg. It has a 13.75% chance of hatching, and its passive ability is a silk song, which is every 13 minutes it restores 100% hunger of a random pet by singing to it. We are officially done with the legendary category. Now we're moving on to the mythical category. In here, all of these pets are going to be obtainable by the mythical egg, which only has about a 7% chance of spawning inside of the shop. Also, this is by far the biggest category that we got. So the first one that we have is the brown mouse. This has a 26.79% chance of hatching from the mythical egg, and its ability is it gains 750 bonus experience every 8 minutes and increases the player's jump height by 10%. Next is the caterpillar, which this might be cuter than the turtle, but you know, that's up to debate. This is actually from the bug egg, which only appears 3% of the time inside of the shop. But the caterpillar has a 25% chance of hatching from the bug egg, and its ability is leaf blower passive, which means that leafy plants grow at 1.65 times faster. Again, the giant ant is again from the bug egg, 3% chance of appearing inside the shop. This one has a 30% chance of hatching from the bug egg, and its ability is 10% chance for harvested crops to duplicate. Rare fruits duplicate less often. We're jumping back to the mythical egg. Alright, this one is the gray mouse. It has a 35.71% chance of hatching. Its passive ability is Whisker Wisdom, which gains 500 bonus experience every 10 minutes and increases the player's movement speed by 10%. Don't ask me if you have multiple mice, alright, that they stack their abilities. I have no idea. Next is the praying mantis with a 4% chance of actually hatching. This has a Zen zone, and every 80 seconds it prays for 10.3 seconds, granting a 1.151 variant chance to crops within 10.3 studs. The red fox, which is one of the most OP pets inside of the entire game, is again from the mythical egg and it has a 1.79% chance of hatching. Its passive ability is Scoundrel, which is attempting to steal or duplicate a seed from another user's plot every 8 minutes. With this pet, you can steal pretty much anything, including the beanstalk, the ember lily, even obtainable fruits. This pet is very, very rare, so if you can't get it from the seed shop, try to trade for it, but watch out for scammers. Next, we got the red giant ant. This has a 8.93% chance of hatching from the mythical egg, and its ability is 5% chance harvested crops duplicate. Rarer crops have a lower chance to duplicate, 5% extra chance for the fruit type crops to duplicate. Again, just like a better giant ant. Now we got the squirrel. Again, mythical egg, 26.79% chance of hatching, and it grants a 2.5% chance to keep a seed when it is planted. So not bad. You can duplicate, your best seeds like the beanstalk, the ember lily, or, even unobtainable seeds. Next, we have the snail, which has a 40% chance of hatching from the bug egg, extra 5% chance harvested plants drop seeds. So it just increases your chance of a lucky harvest. Now we got the bear bee. This one comes from the bee egg and has a 5% chance of hatching from it. Its passive ability is Wannabe, which is every 25 minutes it mutates a crop to honey glaze. And well, it's by far the cutest pet inside of the entire game. Don't test me on this. The butterfly has a 1% chance of hatching from the anti-bee egg, and its passive ability is Rainbow Flutter, which every 30 minutes it flies to a nearby fruit with 5+ mutations, removes all mutations from it, and turns it into rainbow. Ignores favorite fruit. You guys might think that that's a scam, but honestly, it is really, really good. Rainbow is the best mutation you can have. I know Rainbow only gives you a multiplier of 50, and, you know, Disco gives you a multiplier of 125, but just trust me on it. I don't have time to explain the math, but it's not just a normal multiplier. Just trust me, Rainbow is much, much better. This is our first and only crafting pet, so if you actually go over here, you can find the Pack Bee. What you need from it to craft it is an anti-bee egg, a sunflower, a purple Delilah, and 250 honey, and it takes about 4 hours to actually craft. What it does is it increases your backpack size by 25. That means you can hold 25 more fruits when you actually have this guy. Moving on, we got divine pets. The first one that we have is the Dragonfly. This comes from the bug egg and only has a 1% chance of actually hatching. Its ability that every 5 minutes one random crop will turn into gold. Again, the best 2 mutations that you can get inside of the game are gold and, of course, rainbow. Again, I don't have time to explain the math, but just trust me on this. If you want to learn more on why that is, go watch this video. Next, we got the queen bee pet. This has a 1% chance of spawning from the bee egg, and its ability that every 25 minutes a nearby fruit becomes magically pollinated, applying the pollinated mutation, and every 25 minutes the pet with the highest cooldown refreshes its ability. This one is one of my favorite pets inside of the entire game, alright? This actually has a 0.25% chance of hatching from the anti-bee egg. Its ability is every 15 minutes or so, it has a 12% chance a nearby fruit will become Disco. It is also by far one of the rarest pets inside of the entire game. So that is all of the obtainable pets as of right now. Moving on to the quote-unquote unobtainable pets, but there still is a way to obtain them. Let's start with the rare ones. The first one that we actually have is, of course, the Hedgehog. This was obtained from the night egg. I'm not really going to explain how you obtain them originally because that doesn't matter. At the end of the segment, I will actually explain how you can get them now, but for this moment, I'm just going to explain their abilities. The Hedgehog grants a prickly fruit about 1.5 times size bonus. The Kiwi's ability is every 60 seconds, it decreases hatch time of an egg with the highest remaining hatch time by 25 seconds. Moving on, we have the legendary pets, guys. Alright, so, and the Panda's ability is every 3 minutes, the Panda will eat bamboo off the player's spot and sell it for 1.5 times value bonus. Next, we have the Blood Hedgehog. The Blood Hedgehog makes prickly fruit grow bigger and higher prickly fruit variation chance. Now, I just love the way that the frog looks, but its ability is every 20 minutes it croaks and a random nearby plant will advance growth by 24 hours. Again, I also love the way that the mole looks, but its passive ability is every 80 seconds it digs down underground to find treasure, and it can dig up gear or shekels. Now we got the Moon Cat. The Moon Cat's passive ability is Moon Nap, alright? The cat naps in a random spot in your farm, emitting an aura that boosts nearby fruit size. Its other ability is Moon Harvest. It grants a chance for night-type plants to replant when harvested. Next is the Chicken Zombie. Alright, this has 2 abilities. Every 30 minutes it has a 20% chance to a nearby fruit becomes zombified. It increases egg chance, hatch speed by 10%. We got the Firefly. Now, this is by far one of the weirdest looking pets inside of the game, and its ability is every 79 seconds has a 3% chance nearby fruit becomes shocked. Now we got the Blood Kiwi. This one's really good if you're trying to farm a bunch of eggs, but its ability is every 60 seconds it decreases the hatch time of an egg with the highest remaining hatch time by 45 seconds and increases its hatch speed by 20%. Now we got the Echo Frog. Much like the normal frog, every 10 minutes it croaks and causes a random nearby plant to advance growth by 24 hours. Now for the Owl, this one boosts all the active pets XP by around 0.2 XP each second. The Cooked Owl ability is Let Him Cook, which every 15 minutes has a 15% chance to cook a nearby fruit, usually burnt but occasionally cooked. Also, all active pets gain an additional 0.17 XP per second. The cooked mutation gives a multiplier of times 25, while the burnt mutation gives a multiplier of times 4. Keep in mind that there is 4 different variations of the owls, so don't get confused. The third owl that we have is the Blood Owl. This one has the ability that all active pets gain 0.5 XP per second. And the last owl that we have is the Night Owl. This one has a passive ability that all active pets gain an additional 0.3 XP per second. Last but certainly not least, we have the Raccoon. As you can see, this is one of the rarest pets inside of the game. It only has a 0.1% chance that it'll actually hatch from the night egg and a 1% chance that it'll actually hatch from the exotic night egg. Its ability is every 15 minutes, it goes to another player's pot and steals a random crop and gives it to the player, making this one of the best pets inside of the entire game, if not the best pet. I still think that the red fox is better, and I think there's a couple other pets that are better, but this is like one of the rarest pets inside of the entire game, guys, so, you know, it gets a reputation for that reason. So like I said, these pets are technically unobtainable, but they still can be obtained. The main way how you would go and obtain them is actually through trading. If you go to the Grow a Garden Discord, you could actually find a multitude of people actually trading pretty much anything that you're possibly looking for. One thing you need to keep in mind is that there are many scammers out there, so please be safe. Also, you're probably gonna have to give up a very valuable item for them to be able to give up, you know, their valuable items. And if this was helpful, guys, make sure you bookmark this video, and then so you could actually refer to it later when you have a question about another pet. That is all of the released pets ever inside of the game. The only pets that I did not talk about have never actually been obtainable inside of the game, and currently nobody except the admins have them. So I'm simply just skipping those ones because, you know, they don't really matter at all. Anyway, that is it for this video. Like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. I'll see you guys all later. Peace out, and of course, goodbye.